Good morning, Convert. Not long to go. Not long to go. Testing, going live at 9. Testing, going live at 9. We are ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's their St. Patrick's Day special. We're coming up to 9 o'clock and we're going to rock and roll. Because we all love to rock and roll. Welcome everyone, I'm your host Matt Taylor, broadcasting live from Brighton. Be right on in Brighton. We're coming up to 9 o'clock and it's the 17th of March 2023, affectionately known to you and me as St. Patrick's Day. And funny enough, I'm holding in my hand a book written by Baron Blackett, St. Patrick Identified. Did you know he was a Welshman? Now, I bet you weren't expecting that on St. Patrick's Day. But what I can guarantee every single one of you is that when you watch the MattTaylorTV St. Patrick's Day breakfast show live from Brighton, you'll always get something a bit different. Something a bit wacky, a bit crazy, and a bit zany. So before any much further ado, let's welcome everyone into the chat room. Big shout out to Mandy Marlins. What a lovely lady Mandy Marlins is. It's always great to see Mandy. And she's rocking the lucky shamrock for us on St. Patrick's Day. We do love to get a smile out of the audience. Big shout out to Marmite, everyone. I read your blogs earlier, Matt, very well written. Isn't it amazing what you can do with the technology at your fingertips? Like I was touching on last night, the technology available to us now can make us very, very rich. Can even, possibly, if you put your mind to it, help you rule the world. So a big shout out to Mandy Marlins, Marmite, and my good old friend Justin. Justin was first in the chat room today with a good morning. So Justin gets the million zillion brownie points. It's always good to start the day with a million zillion special St. Patrick brownie points from the Matt Taylor Breakfast Show, which coincidentally is what you're watching. This, the Matt Taylor Show, is what we're all bringing together. Again, you're touching on the technology at our fingertips. With my new team of intelligent volunteers, there is no limits now. I have to agree with everyone. The article which I published today was quite outstanding. In all honesty, it is masterpiece. Taylor's News online, I believe. It's also available on Guerrilla Democracy News. Sussex Police stalking and harassment. I won't read all of it because I'm sure some of you already read it, but the writing is absolutely stupendous. Stalking and harassment are serious offences that can have a profound impact on the lives of the victims. The Sussex Police have been working tirelessly to address this issue and provide support to those affected by such crimes. In this article, we will take a closer look at the efforts made by the Sussex Police to combat stalking and harassment. Quite a phenomenal article, if I may say so. Good mornings, everyone. So, everyone, I'm a bit zoned out there because just like I'm thinking about the possibilities and the new articles that are being written as we speak by my new team of volunteers. Read it all, isn't it fantastic? And so I'll be pumping out more outstanding articles across my blog platform, and that's why I'm always showing you my blogs at the bottom of the screen. I'm always urging you to check out my blogs at Guerrilla Democracy News, Taylor's News Online, Matt Taylor Writer, Dog Shit News. I cover everything, everyone. I cover everything. A big shout out to St. Paddy's Day. Happy Paddy's Day, says Lucius. Hey, everyone, we got some drama. Sadly, we can't cover this in the breakfast shows because we've got mainstream stuff to get through. But this is something, thank you, Mandy, for sharing this. This is something I'm definitely looking into, and maybe, most definitely, but not tonight, because I'm out down the bevy, but definitely, possibly, you can bet your bottom dollar on it. We will be talking about this more in my night shows. Yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you don't just get wacky, zany, crazy breakfast shows from MattTaylorTV. You also get the tea time shows, sponsored by Roger, the cabin boy. You also get the afternoon, early evening, late evening, nighttime shows, and the most dangerous of them all, the witching hour, the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone is only for the most bravest viewers of Matt Taylor TV, because in the Twilight Zone we contact the dead, communicate with the afterlife. It is white as sight. So, Lucius, happy Paddy Days, everyone. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Did you know he was a Welshman? I got the book in front of me, St. Patrick's Identified, written by Victor V. Orton. If you don't know who Victor V. Orton is, it's Baron Blackett of the most famous duo in British history, Alan Wilson and Baron Blackett. Great news, by the way. This is something which we will be discussing in this breakfast show, is that Britain's Hidden History is back, and it's got a new presenter. Off the top of my head, I think his name is Paul Challenger. We've got a new presenter on Britain's Hidden History, Paul Challenger. Britain's Hidden History will be back live on YouTube at 8 o'clock this Sunday. So that's something really looking forward to. And no doubt they will be covering St. Patrick Identified, written by Baron Blackett. Baron Blackett is an absolute hero of mine. If you don't know who I'm on about when I talk about Alan Wilson and Baron Blackett, you obviously haven't been watching the Matt Taylor TV, because we are going full on King Arthur. That's a very big. So anyway, just back to what Mandy says. Drama. Shelley calling the James Hind out big style. About fucking time. Who was the first call? And Mandy, you are going to get yourself a slap on the back here. Who was the first one? And so is Paddy. St. Patrick's Day. Who were the first two? And myself. I was the first one to call out James Hind. And I have to give credit to Babs. Right? Babs, my number one researcher, provided me the direction. Put it that way. She said, just go and look at that, Matt. Just go and look at that, Matt. That's all she said to me. She said, Matt, go look at it. Go check it out. She said, go check it out. And I said, yes, I will. And I checked it out. And I discovered something that's been there staring at us in the fucking face. And fair dues to Mandy and Paddy. They were the only other two who mouthed off as well. But you got to mouth off when you got a wrong in the centre. You know, when you got someone hiding in plain sight, mate. You got to mouth off. And the only three who mouthed off about James Hind at the start was myself, Mandy, and Paddy. And now we've got Shelley mouthing off, as she should be. So I'll check it out. I'll check it out later. Not now. No dramas allowed. Right, so while we're talking about that, I just better do the old disclaimer, Matt Taylor TV disclaimer. I'm not responsible or liable, nor disagree with what's being said by anyone on the brand new Matt Taylor TV YouTube channel. The sole intention of this channel is to have fun and enjoy YouTube. So I hope I made myself clear. Hey. If you haven't done so already, I know Harry has. Download Taylor Tales, a collection of 20 true life stories, free of charge from Lulu. You may like it. Book yourself a seat around the King Arthur's round table. Contact me at MattTaylor2000@hotmail.com. Join King Arthur's army. The nation's darkest hour is now. King Arthur is here. Join the King Arthur's army at kingarthurspoliticalparty.wordpress.com. Check out Guerrilla Democracy News, broadcasting live from Brighton. News the mainstream media dare not report. I've got plenty of alerts set up. Beware, we may have a grubby invasion. We had that last night on the late night show. We may have a grubby invasion. Be aware. But you can always guarantee that during these breakfast shows, we will have the latest news from Trump. We'll be going over to the source himself at Truth Social. We'll also be hearing the latest gossip from the Windsors, or should I say the firm. Latest gossip from the firm. You are watching the Matt Taylor TV St. Patrick's Day breakfast show live from Brighton. A big shout out to everyone who's jumping in. They aren't shy. Oh no, they've jumped in and said hi, and I urge everyone to as well, because it's good to say hi. So I'm going to leave the comments just there for the time being, because we want to jump in with one of the first topics of the day, and that is, does Princess Anne deserve her own national day? So that's one of the topics today. We're touching on the firm's news. We may as well plunge in now, and that touches on one of the topics. So, does Princess Anne deserve her own national day? What do you think? A lot of people, her quotes are, she's a credit to this country, and she's deserving. I personally, what do I think? Does she deserve a national day? No way. What? No way. No way. Monarch? Yes. And anyway, has there been any president in the past? You know, don't start fucking throwing national days out willy-nilly. Does the siblings of kings usually get national days? I don't know. I don't know what you think on the subject, really. I mean, you know, open it up to you, the audience. Thank you for watching me. So that's one of the topics today. And of course, touching on from yesterday, we will be checking out the new NASA suits. So let's just tip that in now, get that ready. So did you see the NASA suits? This is going to be worn by the astronauts riding on the Artemis. Is that right? The Artemis. We got a new NASA spacesuit. So, without any further ado, let's go over. This is 6 minutes. CBS Mornings. So what we'll go over, we'll keep the sound off, I believe. I think that'll be the best course of action for the time being. And bish bash bosh, here we go. Let's check out NASA's new spacesuits. Skip. All right, so that's, yeah, oh, okay.
And Axiom Space, they are unveiling the design, the spacesuit that will be worn by these future moonwalkers. And first on CBS Mornings, Mark Strassman traveled to Houston to get a sneak peek of new suit.
It's got to be one of the most proud moments of my life, I guarantee you.
Spacesuits. To go back to the moon, NASA's closet needed a refresh.
It is the most beautiful sight.
In space, to dress for success is a matter of survival.
How hard is this?
Very. It is very, very challenging. The glove bladder is just kind of the inner layer.
Russell Ralston works for Axiom Space. Last September, NASA hired the Houston Aerospace Company to build a new spacesuit for the first Artemis moon landing mission to the lunar South Pole. Here, shadowed craters are home to some of the coldest temperatures in the solar system, almost 400 degrees.
Do you know there's dual uses for the NASA's new space gloves? Oh yeah, what's that then? Oh, you can satisfy 5 women at the same time. It's so funny. I'm going to say it again. Oh, Michael Caine would appreciate that. But we found out yesterday in yesterday's show that Michael Caine loves a bit of a dirty jokes. And this is a lovely dirty joke for you. Did you know that the NASA's new space glove has got a dual purpose? Oh yeah? What's that? You can satisfy 5 women at the same time. Michael Caine would appreciate that.
Below zero.
Going into a permanently shaded region on the moon it's something that's never been done before by anything.
NASA spent 15 years developing its own next-generation moon suit before outsourcing the project to Axiom. The company adapted more than half of NASA's design.
So this is it.
Yes, it's pretty close. Inevitably, we'll tweak a couple things, but in large part, that's pretty much the suit.
With one
That's it,
notable
ladies and gentlemen.
cosmetic difference.
How to
the
survive
color.
on the moon.
The outer layer will be white, made of mylar and Kevlar.
Good morning,
So the
Lenny.
actual
Big shout out
flight
to Lenny,
suit will look
everyone. Lenny's
more
in the
like this.
house.
What about this suit would make Neil and
Hang on a sec. Have I got I can't believe I haven't got a Lenny's in the house. I'll get back to that. I'll just finish off this. I'm going to have a little hit button, so whenever Lenny comes in from now on, I can hit the old Lenny's in the house.
Buzz and the Apollo
We'll also
guys?
have a Mandy's in the house.
Probably everything. I think this suit is going to
Who
have
else won?
a
Well,
huge
just
leap forward in terms
Mandy's
of
got the special
mobility.
subscriber status.
No.
Lenny's just Lenny. You know?
The Apollo
Lenny's just
suits
awesome.
were bulky,
Oh, and I
inflexible.
could always go
Moonwalking
sponsored by-
astronauts often fell.
Whenever
Getting
Brian
back up
comes in, I go
looked
sponsored
like
by Prime
slapstick.
PT.
It was hard work.
Without
yeah.
him, none
Charlie
of this
Duke
would be
was the
possible.
10th man to walk on the moon. He remembers even the simplest of tasks, like picking up a hammer was a struggle.
Working against that suit was demanding, squeezing the gloves and moving the arms and trying to bend over, and so it was exhausting.
Can't do it. Can't get down that far.
A lot of
This
people
suit
think
will be much easier to walk in or to do
by wires,
do a lot
but
of the
hey,
same tasks
just
that
saying,
they
a
did
lot of
back
people
in
do
Apollo
think that.
and more.
I'm just
but to
stating
do
a
it in
fact.
a little bit easier way.
Axiom engineer Russell Kelly slipped into the suit to show us how flexible it can be.
Nice,
do that
much
pretty easily.
better. Much
yeah, it's,
better. I'll be hello, Lenny. I'll be much
It's
more
a
comfortable.
top-to-bottom redesign.
Having
the
the shit.
helmet's
Look at
greater
that. You can
visibility.
sit down. Did you
and
see
these
that, everyone?
boots were made for moon.
You can
yeah,
squat
it's,
on the moon.
It's not too bad.
Squat on the moon. Can I imagine just do the Velcro, have a shit, Velcroed up, off you go. So, isn't that amazing? Even the new NASA, even the new NASA spacesuits have got an added feature. The astronauts can now have a shit on the moon. Yes, breaking news. I'll put that into the article maker. NASA astronauts can now have a shit on the moon with these new durable spacesuits in which they can easily squat down. Zip, unzip the Velcro, have a crap, zip up, and off they go.
Bad.
It's a
How do they
top-to-bottom
eat Cocoa
redesign.
Pops and
The
space
helmet's
arts,
greater
Lenny?
visibility.
How do they eat
And these
Cocoa
boots
Pops and
were
space,
made for
Lenny?
moonwalking. thermally insulated for the
Did we
moon's
ever
south
find
pole.
out
Can you
what
hit a
the
golf ball
difference
in this suit?
between a
I hope
blabbermouth,
so. I think you
a
can.
whistleblower,
And
and
until
a
now,
grass was
no
last night,
spacesuit was
according to
ever
Mandy.
designed to
Because
fit
I
a
know
woman.
Dust
Oh, I think it looks
said
really cool.
Peggy Whitson is director of
grasses,
human spaceflight at
please.
Axiom.
A bit
Heading back
sinister.
to the pillar.
Copy, Peggy.
The former NASA astronaut has spent more time in
Gold
space
Cup
than
today.
any
Looking forward
American
to it, Lenny.
and completed 10 spacewalks wearing suits now more than 4 decades old.
In some of them, I couldn't even get my hands
Lucius is
together.
asking.
That makes it hard to do a lot of
Lenny, see the
detailed and
Constitution Hill
delicate
romp
tasks.
in.
Just to have a suit that fits.
We all
Oh,
love a
it's
bit of
huge.
horse racing.
This 21st century spacesuit is made with 21st century
Cup today.
technology. Laser cutters
just reminds us.
precisely slice different fabrics. These 3D printers build components, saving time and
How
money.
wonderful.
But some
The
parts are
astronauts
still assembled the
have been-
old-fashioned
The
way.
astronaut suits have been built by
In Axiom's
3D
sewing room,
printers.
we met Zach Paw. His resume includes the Houston Ballet and Cirque du Soleil.
Fucking
His
hell,
new
going
challenge,
from making
space gloves.
dresses for
definitely an added
ballerinas
sense of
to
responsibility with space
suits
work.
for astronauts.
This is more exacting. This is more exacting. Yeah, exactly.
Axiom
Wow,
suit
that's
prototypes
quite
will eventually
phenomenal,
be
isn't it?
tested here at NASA's
that.
Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory. Part of the 40-foot deep pool now simulates a South Pole lunar landscape.
We can mimic partial gravity.
NASA's Laura
they've
Kearney
actually got,
oversees the program and will make sure Axiom
Wow, I didn't know
is
that.
meeting
Look, they've got a
requirements.
replication.
It's going to give us a really
replication
great indication
of
of
the
how
moon
mobile the
surface
suit is.
under the water.
And again, what kind of
Did you
fatigue,
know
if
that?
anything, the crew members are going to
I
feel
never knew
after
that.
working
now
for
we
6 or
know
7
it.
hours.
Oh, they've actually
Making a suit
got
for an
the moon
astronaut is no
underwater. How
ordinary
cool.
trip to a tailor. And Axiom knows the stakes.
I go to
But
church with
actually, the moon
astronauts.
will be
We
like
see them
this, so
when we're
what's the
getting
point of that
groceries.
then?
We know their kids. The product you're making, their life is going to
Because
depend
there's
on
not a
that.
true
So it's something we
representation,
take
is it?
extremely seriously.
Because the
The
moon's
moon
atmosphere is
seems
lighter.
closer than ever. And this new suit
And
is a big step.
replicating the moon
For CBS
underwater
Mornings, Mark Strassman
is heavier
in Houston.
pressure. So I don't quite understand that myself.
Amazing.
I just want to know, like, how do they seal all those seams in the suit? Because they have to be airtight, right? But you saw him, they're making those stitches. So it, any guesses?
Just very carefully, I guess. I don't know.
Probably many, many, many layers.
Yes, yes.
I love that blue.
Well, what we did find out, everyone, was that you can now take a crap on the moon with NASA's new spacesuits. Hey! Well, I never knew that. Well, I never knew that. Wasn't that interesting? So that was the first thing off today's St. Patrick's Day breakfast show. I think I got that right, or as close as possible. The St. Patrick Day's breakfast show live from Brighton with me, your host, Matt Taylor. So that was the first thing. NASA's new spacesuits. Over to the latest news that Britain's hidden history is back. Yes, Britain's hidden history is back on YouTube, and it will be back starting at 8 o'clock on Sunday. So if you haven't done so already, I suggest you sign up. I'm just getting Britain's hidden history. No, there we go. I'll get this up on screen. It's important. This is important. It's important for everyone, really, quite frankly. So let's hide the chat. So as we know, Ross Broadstock, 1966 to 2022. Such a shame. Ross left us on 17th of October 2022 morning. It's a shock for all of us. Thank you for all your support and contribution to Britain's Hidden History Group and to Ross Broadstock. We will carry on with Ross's work to continue getting the true history out there. And that's something I'm dedicated to. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because it's the Ross thing to do. We're following the footsteps of this great man, Ross Broadstock. And to celebrate that, there's a new Britain's Hidden History. Back this Sunday at 8 o'clock. Hosted by Paul Challenger. Please join us with our new episode. What a great thing to look forward to. I cannot wait. There's the legends. The King Arthur legends. Annan Wilson and Ross Broadstock. And of course, if you haven't done so already, you can check out Britain's hiddenhistory.co.uk. I'll get the link and we can go to the shops and I can show you the book. The books. This is the book you should be. Oh, it's not there. There you go. It's not that. Here's the St. Patrick identified is not there. But I'll find it for you. I'm fighting back the tears actually. Fighting back the tears actually about the Ross Broadstock. It's so sad, you know what I mean? So sad. And of course he leaves 3 teenage boys. Which guess who was the first to discredit Ross's memory? Yes, you got it. Brighton-based Satanist. Same time. Who talks so much about protecting children against abuse, but yet at the same time abuses 3 teenage boys. It was disgusting. So this is the book. This is it. That's the book that I have in front of me. St. Patrick Identified. Events at Lanwit Manor. Victor V. Orton. That's Baron Blackett, if you don't know. Chirographics. And that's the statement. So it's so sad. Sadly, Ross Broadstock passed away in the early hours of Monday the 17th of October. It's so sad. I cannot continue. But look, you know, if you are interested, get these books. If you're interested in ancient British history, get these books. You will love them. I know it's upsetting, but death becomes us. I don't know what that means exactly, but death becomes us. St. Patrick liked it in the missionary position, allegedly. And double figures. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for watching. We've got a message from Lenny. He said, Matt, did you see the nutter on Sky News who killed a guy and went back to the murder scene drunk, behaving like an arrogant tosspot? No, I didn't. Shall we try and watch it? Shall we try and see that, shall we? So, Sky News. Sky News. Man drunk goes back to crime scene. Do you reckon I'll find it with that? Let's see. Not really. Can't find it. Can't find it, Lenny. St. Patrick liked it in missionary position. Yes. So he says. So look, where are we, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wake up, wake up. Stand to attention. Name and number. Go, go, go. Over the obstacle course now. Where the fuck are we? Wake up, people. We are watching Matt Taylor TV. It's coming up to 9:30. 0927 to be exact. On St. Patrick's Day, 17th of March, 2023. I'm your host, Matt Taylor, broadcasting live from Brighton. This is the St. Patrick Day special. We've already discussed the new NASA spacesuit. We've not really discussed it. We just looked at the video from somewhere, CBS, I think it was. But then we had a little kind of like touch upon, does Princess Anne deserve her own national day? I pretty much, fuck that, no way. What do you think? So, Britain's hidden history, we've just gone over it. It still hurts, it's still sore. Because, you know, thinking about poor Ross Broadstock and thinking about his 3 teenage kids, honestly, it breaks my heart. And it's still so raw. But life moves on. And the good news is that Britain's hidden history is back at 8 o'clock. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to Britain's hidden history. I'll just get it up now for you, or for your convenience. And so we've got a new presenter, a new host of Britain's hidden history. His name is Paul Challenger. Give Paul Challenger a warm welcome. I know I certainly will. So, what else have we got on the thing to-do list? No to octopus farming. Right, remember, that's going to be my big campaigns are pushing. No to octopus farming. And also, Lewis football ladies equal pay. It's another campaign I'm pushing on my breakfast show. So, this is the latest news. Honestly, we're all kicking off here. And that's reason why you should stick with the Matt Taylor breakfast shows. Because I do this every morning. I'll commit with you if you commit with me. And there are causes that are close to my heart, which I will be using the opportunity of my breakfast shows to get across. And some of those causes that are close to my heart is fucking no octopus farming. They're sentient beings, for goodness sake. We shouldn't even be catching them in the wild. Man, they're intelligent. They're beautiful. And they're sentient. Hey, I'm all set to be the new face of the BBC, baby. If you haven't done that already, check out Guerrilla Democracy News. The news the mainstream media dare not report. Broadcasting live from Brighton. Check out Guerrilla Democracy News for all my latest blogs. I'm in the running to become the new BBC face. I kid you not. So, where was I? Causes close to my heart. No to octopus farming. It's abhorrent. No one should be eating octopuses, let alone farming them. You know, what's your argument? You know, I hate to put it out to the audience, but what's your, you know, what do you think on the subject? I find it pretty revolting, really. And also, another thing that's close to my heart is equal pay. So let's go over to that. Let's share the screen. Let's get rid of bish bash bosh. Get rid of the chat as well. So, Lewis FC, the football club that pays women the same as men. I'm all for equal pay. And I'm so glad that my local football team, the team I support, Lewis, their ladies are paid equally. I pay the same amount of money that I pay to watch the men and the women. Lewis FC's ground, the dripping pan, makes you feel like you're back in football's good old days. I love it, I do. It's such a stress relief, mate. It went for my football. I don't know how I got through my dark days. Honestly, I fucking love Lewes Football Club. Sweet as. Getting emotional. Lewes FC's ground, the Dripping Pan. I can't continue. Makes you feel like you're back in the football good old days. Down the old Brighton Golston ground with your uncles. Loved it. Local beer, local pies, cramped turnstiles, and proper old-fashioned terraces. Speak to anyone at the club though, and you get a completely different impression. This is the future. We're already there. We're ahead of the game. Even if people haven't heard of us, the club's general manager, Maggie Murphy, says, we're here because 2021 marks 100 years since the FA banned women's football for the best part of half a century, and Lewes FC claims to be the only club no longer living in the banned shadow. Why? Because it pays its male and female players equally. Wow, and what a gorgeous lady Maggie is. Maggie says clubs that don't invest in their women's team will be left by the wayside. I totally agree, Maggie. I can't remember exactly how old I was when I first learned that women's football had been banned, but I know it was far too late. Midfielder Sarah Kempson, tells us from underneath the plastic roof of the home dugout. A lot of people don't know that it even happened, and that's the problem. People think that women's football is just growing now, but it's actually regrowth. We're getting back to where we were. The ban on the grounds that football was quite unsuitable for women? How fucking ridiculous. I'm quite angry, actually. Fuck, talk about, what's the word I'm looking for when you hate women? Modernistic, is it? MO? The ban on the grounds that football was quite unsuitable for women lasted from 1921 until the end of the 1960s. Before it was put in place in the wake of World War I, women's matches were drawing crowds. Well, listen to this. Before it was put in place, which was 1921, in the wake of World War I, women's matches were drawing in crowds of over 50,000 fans. Misogynistic. Thank you, Lucius. Misogynistic. Talk about misogynistic. So isn't that interesting then? So if it wasn't for that ban, we would be having women's football as big as men. This is the dugout. See that hut over there? You can't see, that's the bar in there. Beautiful ground. I love the ground. In the grand scheme of things, Lewes is still a pretty small club, albeit one where both the women's and men's team have a six-figure playing budget. But while the men's squad is way down in the 7th tier of English football, the women's team is in the Championship, the sport's second highest division. Still, Sarah, like many of the players here, has come straight to training from her day job. I think society needs to be more educated, she says. Once you've watched women's football, you can't not be inspired by it and want to be part of it. She's adamant, along with everyone we speak to, that the equal pay system here could and should be put in place across the board. But less than 10 minutes drive from the Dripping Pan is a huge reminder of how much would need to change for that to happen. Brighton FC are Lewis's intimidating neighbours with a 30,000 capacity stadium and a men's squad worth hundreds of millions of pounds. In recent years, some countries, including England, have promised to pay their national sides the same, but for clubs, it's a different story. And whether it's through sponsorship, TV deals, or prize money, the bulk of the cash in football still flows through the men's game. I think that exposure comes first. Striker Ini Umotom has just signed for Lewis from Sweden's top division, tells us. How good? So we've got this girl signing from Sweden's top division. When is the Women's Cup? No cheating. They're playing Manchester United Sunday at the Dripping Pan. I haven't got tickets for it yet, but I may just go down there. If I can't slip in or talk my way in, at least I've got a pub around the corner to get pissed in. So we've got this striker, Ini Amotong. Ini Amotong has just signed for Lewis from Sweden's top division. Nice one. Isn't that good? Lewis is attracting top players from the Swedish football division. After all, Lewis women's are in the Champions League. At the moment, women's football isn't anywhere near as broadcast as men's, and that's where the money comes from. If you look at the last Women's World Cup, there were sellout crowds, so the demand is there, but we don't have the exposure yet. And may I remind everyone that we just learned from this article that you wouldn't have learned anywhere else if you weren't watching Matt Taylor TV breakfast show, the St. Patrick's special today, that before the 1921 ban, which ended in the 60s, women's football were attracting, on average, crowds of 50,000. Lenny reminds us, Matt, Sky News shows a lot of women's football. Yes, it does. Hey, listen, I wouldn't have got into football if it wasn't for the Sky showing the football games. No, sorry, I wouldn't have got into women's football, really. And of course, the women's, they won the Euros. What an achievement. So, yeah, I mean, you know, let's just finish this off. As the players trickle away from the clubhouse for a late night training session on a nearby AstroTurf pitch, we grab Captain Rihanna Cleverly. When I was a kid, I never thought I could be a professional footballer. And change has to start somewhere, she says. There's a reason why men are so far ahead. They started much before us. And then there's the ban. So we're at a disadvantage. Remember this, everyone, what I'm about to say, because this is not me saying this. This is a female footballer. Change is uncomfortable. And sometimes it doesn't feel like it's possible. But if you make those steps, and it takes time, there can be a bright future for women's football. Amen to that. I'll say it again. And this applies not only to women's football. This applies to humanity. So, when I read this out again, let's change the words women's football to humanity. So here we go. Change is uncomfortable. And sometimes it doesn't feel like it's possible. But if you make those steps, and it takes time, there can be a bright future for humanity. Or in this case, women's football. Isn't that lovely? So enjoyable. I am so enjoying reading all these lovely news items. Fantastic. Mandy says, when you go into London and see BBC, what I got to do first? I've got some admin to do, Marie. And I want to take up a 5-page CV. So basically, it's not going to be today. I'm not going up to London today. Put it that way. So where was I, everyone? We're coming up to an hour. Have we ticked everything? I will be doing a public awareness video coming up. You know, for goodness sakes, ban octopus farming. Ban octopus farming. That's really, you know, equal pay for female footballers. Very close to my heart, y'all. Equal pay. Fuck nurses. I don't mean that literally. Figuratively. Forget the doctors. Equal pay for female footballers. We love the game of football. And did you know, before the 1921 ban, women's football was attracting crowds of 50,000. There you go. I bet you never knew that. And also, what else did we learn today by watching Matt Taylor TV? The NASA suits, you can crap on the moon. You can crap on the moon, easy as fuck. Easy. Marmite is giving us a laugh. Lovely. Because listen, it's all about having a laugh. No drama here. We keep the drama for the late night shows. And one of the bit of the drama is going to be talking about on the late night show is some little bit of gossip that Mandy threw into the chat room today. Apparently, don't tell anyone else, Shelley is laying into Heinz. And I'm not talking about Heinz beans, if you know what I mean. We mustn't laugh at other people's misfortune. I try not to, but sometimes you just got to do and die. You've got to do it or you don't. That's my philosophy in life. So listen, don't want to say too much except a big shout out to Katie. Katie's in the house. I think I'll have shout out things. You know, when I do like music by Simba, I'm going to do other columns, other little shout outs. I'm going to do Lenny's in the house. Mandy's in the house. Katie's in the house. And sponsored by my hero, Brian PC's in the house. All that kind of jazz, if you know what I mean. You know, because I touched on it last night. We have got access to technology that just is shooting us through the ceiling. And it's exciting times. And I'm already benefiting from it. Anyone's checking out my blogs, you can see what I'm talking about. Those in the know what's known. Yeah? I am taking advantage. And do you know, should I tell you who else who's just like a whiz kid? Not only have I got great support from you lot, Simba is a whiz kid. He knows his stuff. And so I'm so grateful that the gods, because apparently, I found this out last night. And guess what happened last night as well on the, guess what else happened? I got told off by Ford, didn't I? So I didn't let that fucking weirdo prickhead, you know who I'm talking about. Ford said, do not commit murder. That's one of the things. He said, let him who wanks in bush speak. Do not hold his tongue. What's all that about? Getting told off, not letting a certain wanker from a bush in Preston on. Bloody hell. But anyway, move on. But I don't recommend pissing any gods off. Do not ignite the wrath of gods. Just a little bit of advice, you know, and that's not just for YouTube, that's for life. Good to see weirdo prickhead, yes. Good to see some conversation in the chat room. Shout out to everyone brave enough to jump in board and say hi. Shout out to Katie, Lenny, Marmite, Mandy, and then we've got, of course, Justin. Thanks everyone for jumping in and saying hi, for joining me on this St. Patrick's Day breakfast show. Matt, are Brighton cats safer since they locked up the guy killing cats down there? Yes, it is safer. Thank you. And the cats are safer. And it's such a strain on the community when things like this happen. Because, of course, not only did cats go missing in our neighbourhood, children are known to go missing too. And it's very distressing. Yes, Lenny. Yes, Lenny. St. Patrick was a Welshman. That's the latest research from Alan Wilson, Baron Blackett. And you can find out more from going to Cymriglyphics and searching for St. Patrick. St. Patrick identified. Just getting it for you now. If you are interested, buy the book. Buy the book. It's amazing. I love anything to do with I absolutely love anything and everything to do with Baron Blackett and ancient Britain history and Alan Wilson. So there you go. That's the book. That's the book I've got in front of me at the moment. St. Patrick identified. You can go and get it from chymographics.com. The link's in there for blah blah blah. Okay, everyone, we're coming up to an hour. Thank you ever so much for joining me on this St. Paddy's, St. Patrick's breakfast show. Subjects covered today. We had a butcher's at the NASA's new space suit. Lo and behold, you can do a crap on the moon. Only joking. Great news, Britain's Hidden History is back this Sunday. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to Britain's Hidden History. Help continue the work of Ross Broadstock, Alan Wilson and Baron Blackett. So Britain's Hidden History is back live on YouTube from 8 o'clock Sunday with a new host, Paul Challenger. So let's give Paul Challenger a big welcome and wish him all the best. It's great to see Britain's Hidden History back doing what it does best as a collective, and that's retelling the stories of ancient British history, keeping the ancient British history alive. Because once that's gone, our heritage is gone, and we don't want that, do we? Lenny says, Matt, there's a theory the Holy Grail is under an old church in France, says Lenny. Yes, there's lots of theories about everything, isn't there? Yes, there are. Lenny says, Matt, are you following the war in Ukraine? We're getting told lies upon lies by our Western media. Yes, I know, Lenny. I know I don't believe anything. And, you know, shame on anyone who believes that kind of bullshit from the Western media. Because you should know better, quite frankly. So what else did we touch upon today? Equal pay, not legal pay, equal pay for women's footballers. I support Lewes Football Club, and Lewes Football Club is the only football club in the country that pays their women and men equally, and I think that's just totally obvious. We found out today that there was a ban from 1921 to 1960 banning women's football just after World War I. Before then, women's football was attracting crowds of up to 50,000. Talk about misogynistic. I hope I pronounced that word right. Misogynistic. Talk about fucking being misogynistic. Footballers, misogynistic. You banned women's football for fucking decades, you nutter. From 1921 to the 1960s. That's 40 odd years. Before then, women's were getting 50,000 crowds watching them. I'm a bit shocked by that. Poor women, man. I'm a champion for women. I am. Someone's got to stand up for women. Fuck it. Let's not start swearing. You know, got to keep it light and hairy. But look, equally, the issue of equal pay for female footballers makes me just as rolled up as ban bloody octopus farming. What? Yes. It's bad enough that these sentient, intelligent creatures are being caught in the wild and eaten. But please, let's not go as a humanity and start eating octopuses. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've hit the hour mark. It's been a St. Patrick's Day breakfast show live from Brighton, UK. I've been your host, Matt Taylor. I hope you've enjoyed it. St. Patrick's Day, I'm out tonight. There won't be a night show. I'm down the bevy, getting pissed with my locals. So what's happening tomorrow? Is there going to be a breakfast show tomorrow? Possibly not, everyone. Possibly not. Will you see me over the weekend? Definitely. You'll definitely see me over the weekend. Breakfast show? Possibly not. I'll be hungover, you know what I mean? Listen, it's been lovely. I hope everyone enjoys themselves tonight. Whatever you do, be safe doing it. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Big shout out for everyone who jumped in and said hi. We're going to play off with a minute outro, then we're off. Thank you, everyone. Remember, King Arthur loves you as much as I love you too.